Real Estate Roundup
with Realtor Nagaraj Annaya every Sunday from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. PST on Bolly 92.3 FM.
Musician Steve Bolton hit the right note when he said, "The only bad time to buy property is later." On Bolly 92.3 FM, it's Vijay Lakshmi bringing in the good times with Real Estate Roundup, your chance to get up to date with Bay Area real estate, brought to you by your trusted tech realtor Nagraj Anaya, the founder of nagrajhomes.com. Each week, Nagraj tells you that there's no time like the present when it comes to owning real estate and talk you through any doubts, questions, and clarifications you may have in embarking on the process, whether it's buying, selling, or investing in real estate. So, this is your chance to get some expert advice and really give your observations as well. And to talk to Nagraj, the real estate pro, give us a call. The studio lines are open on Bolly 92.3 FM. You can call in at 408 912 5038. That number 408 912 5038. And we welcome your calls. This program is for you to really get up to date on real estate. So when you call in, you really are helping the community at large because they have similar questions as well. So again, keep those calls coming in 408 912 5038. And with that, welcome Nagraj.
Hello, Vijay Lakshmi.
Hello.
Happy Sunday. You guys have
Happy Sunday. Yes. And you're wearing a bright and cheerful yellow mustard to make it all the more
yeah,
brighter and happier.
always you should be kind of, as you said, I think first you said what later, and
Yeah.
the other one told me like current, right? A lot
Yes.
of people forget on that later and current, right? Like always they think about later, and then later never becomes current for them.
Correct. It's
Right?
always
And
like,
that's the thing about Bay Area real estate. Always, I was reading an article on recently. Like I think 30% people are waiting the market to crash so that they can buy the house.
oh, okay.
30% people are waiting in that
Uh,
30%. In that one, we need to see how many people are waiting from how many years, right?
just waiting. Yeah.
I think we will be waiting itself. The waiting will never become a current because we
Yes.
can't predict what's a market.
Yeah. Yeah. So you
We have
have to be, current up in the present, right? In the present moment, do it.
current requirement. Current requirement.
Yeah.
Buying is all about what you have a current requirement right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you define in your requirements, we have one caller, Vijay Lakshmi, let's take it.
Oh, okay. Nice. The call to kick us off. Hello and welcome to Real Estate Roundup. Your name, please.
My name is Raj.
Hi, Raj. Welcome to the show.
How are you?
Doing very well. And you have a question for Nagraj?
Yeah, I have a question for Nagaraj. So, being a first-time buyer, so what would be my options if I want at least 10 days of time to decide on my purchase of the house? So, what would be my options there? So, I was just curious to see what would be my options.
Hello, Raj. Thanks for calling in. Hope you're having a great day out there.
Yes, Nagaraj. I mean, doing good, and hope you're doing great.
Yeah, thank you, Raj. See, Raj, like when you're purchasing in a house, right, there are kind called contingencies. Okay. When you put in an offer, for example, if you like the house and you can't decide immediately, right? Is it like this house is right fitting? Okay. And like maybe you might doubt on the inspections report. Okay. And might be you're not sure called like your loan might be an issue, right? Maybe you got in a pre-approval, but you don't know this loan might not be approved also. Maybe depending on your income status or your down payment can be a gift coming in, right? Or the third option might be an appraisal. You might be doubting on the house might be not appraising whatever we are putting in.
Mm.
So that time we can play around with the contingencies in the offer. Okay. That is called a loan contingency, inspection contingency, and appraisal contingency. Okay. The inspection contingency is basically you would say that I need around 10 days more or a 5 days more after putting in an offer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But in that one, you will be mentioning it also. What is the EMD, earnest money deposit, when you are putting in? Okay, you put like maybe a 3% of an earnest money deposit. Okay, but you tell that I need another 10 days after putting an offer and an EMD. I need another 10 days to decide on. It's like maybe I need to get a third party inspection again, or you need to do an inspection for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or you need some more time to decide on yourself. Okay, then you can go with an inspection contingency.
Uh-huh.
So that might help you out. The second thing is, as I told you, on the loan perspective, if you're not sure on what is your loan status, right, then you can go with the loan contingency. That is also minimum is like you can go for 10 days, 5 days, depending on your loan. Nowadays, you need just a 7 days or 8 days to get a final approval. Okay, so you can go out on the 8 days or a 9 days contingency. And the appraisal, typically once you put an offer and to get an appraisal to rush to complete, it takes around 3 to 4 days. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can go with a 5 days. Before deciding on how many days you need, you talk to your lender and figure out how much loan contingency you need, how many days of loan contingency and appraisal contingencies. And this should help you out, Raj. Do you have any
Mm-hmm.
follow-up question on this, Raj?
Yeah, thank you, Nagaraj. That helps me understand the process, which I have in my mind. And also, I was curious, parallelly I'll have to put multiple contingencies, or just one contingency would work for this? So I think, my understanding is you'll have to separate it out, per se, the loan contingency versus the other inspection contingencies, is my understanding based on your answer there, right?
So it depends on the number of days. For example, like if you need just a 1 week for including both, okay, just say it's a 1 week inspection contingency. No need to separate it out, okay, because so that it gives a confidence to the seller, right? Because if the seller needs to pick up the offer for you, then it is like basically if you're bringing in more contingencies, it might not help you in the favor, right?
Yeah.
For example, you need a multiple things to decide. Like for example, you need a inspection contingencies, like where inspection you can do it quickly, like for example 3 days or 4 days. You can put an inspection contingency for 4 days, but your loan to get decided maybe it needs a 10 days, or it might need a 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can add additional 2 weeks of that. Okay, when anytime when you decide on the loan contingency, if the loan is not approved, then you need to be getting in a letter from the lender that loan is not approved. Okay, so that you can say to the seller that
Yeah.
I'm backing out because of my loan is not approved. Okay, to get back your EMD, you need to be sending in a cancellation of a contract. Okay, so then you need to send it to a cancellation of a contract to an escrow. Sorry, get it signed from the seller, then send that to a escrow to release your funds. Okay, EMD will be always, I think, let me touch upon that. Where does the EMD goes in? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
EMD goes to the escrow account. Okay, that would be like basically a seller or a buyer decide on the escrow account who would be your escrow and who will be holding on to your money, 3% of the EMD. If the funds needs to be sent back to the buyer again, you need to be sending the cancellation of contract signed from a buyer and a seller to the escrow account. Once they approve it, then only the funds will be returned back to your account.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything you have follow-up question on this, Raj?
Thank you, thank you. I think, you explained it very well how the process works. I appreciate all your help here. And one other question is, again, like any first-time buyer has, is it a good market, or what are the market conditions if I want to buy a house? What would be my next question?
A great thing. I think that's what we were discussing in before you,
Yeah.
right? It's always is a current, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like because there's nothing called like later in, especially in the real estate buying and selling. It all comes down to your current based on your needs, right? Because your needs, as your requirements keep changing, it might go up or it go down. You can't decide on like maybe like in 10 years I might have a three kids or 2 kids, I need a bigger house, 2000 square footage, and go buy now. Or like, for example, in 10 years, my kids are going into a college now, I need just 1,000 square footage. Okay, you can't decide on that based on your current requirements, what you've decided upon. Okay, for me, for my current needs, or my higher school is very important for you, or a middle school is important for you. Okay, and you know you need like 1,400, 1,300 square footage based on your office requirements. You need to be going to the office regularly, which area fits in for you. Like maybe for your townhouse works out for you, or condos might work out, or maybe a single family, depends again on your income wise. Especially November, December, January are a good time for the buyers, because the prices will drop for you,
Mm-hmm.
because there are a lot of buyers will be traveling, and number of homes listed will be also less. Especially, you might not get a lot of inventory to shop around, but it's a whatever in the inventory, if you like it and it satisfies for your requirement, is the best time, because you can negotiate on the price.
Yeah, before it starts getting
Yeah.
crowded.
So again, because you, June, July are
Yeah.
the college school crowd, right? For you, especially for you, it's a school crowd, and then a lot of people needs to change their places now. Then the prices picks up again. Okay, starting from the April, the prices will be start going up on the higher side.
Yeah.
Especially this winter, December, November, December, January are the best time to buy for the buyers, especially.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anything, Raj? Any follow up questions, or your?
I think I should be good, Nagaraj. I mean, hope, it helps me understand the situation and market trends based on the current situation and the personal needs also. Yep,
Yeah.
appreciate your and you answering diligently. Thank you very much. Have a
Thank
good
you
rest of
for
your
the
day.
call, Raj. And of course, it's helped other people as well when you've answered all of these questions so well. So, before we go ahead, let me tell listeners you're listening to Real Estate Roundup. We're talking to Nagraj Anaya, the founder of nagrajhomes.com. Everything you need to know in Bay Area real estate. If you are having a situation of your own, whether you're buying, selling, or looking to invest, and you are having a hard time really navigating the choppy real estate seas, well, we have subject matter expert in the house. Nagraj is here, so call us with your question. The number to call in 408-912-5038. That number 408-912-5038. Yes, Nagraj.
We are live on Bali 92.3. All these recordings will be uploaded into YouTube later, and it will be available to view
Yeah.
in by maybe a 110, 115. It should be available. If you have anything to watch, you can watch it later also.
Yes. So make sure you like and subscribe Nagraj's YouTube channel. That's Nagraj Anaya is the handle. And of course, Nagraj is very diligent about putting, videos all through the week, really explaining the different concepts of real estate, topical issues as well. So make sure you check that out and subscribe to that channel so that you can get updates, as and when he posts the videos. So Nagraj, you do a lot of work,
Thank you.
for helping people. So it's a great handle right there. So much of information, so much wealth of knowledge right there, which he has subject matter, like I said, expert and local knowledge of the different areas. So if you're considering buying a home in a certain area, call us now with your question, and then whether how that area is seen real estate wise, and Nagraj will be more than happy to help. So Nagraj, this is a great time to remind listeners also that today is the last day to pay the property taxes, right?
The last day, if to pay your first installment of your property taxes, or
Yeah,
second installment, December 10th is the due for it. Reminders for you, if you have not paid, initiated your property tax
yeah.
payments, go to your county website, look for your property address, and pay for the property taxes, right?
Yes. So still few hours left, and if you've been tardy about it,
And
this is the time
there
to
are
do
two
it.
ways to pay for the property taxes. One is like you can pay through your credit cards, but the credit card they might charge you like 2 or 3% depending on these counties. And
Yeah.
the second thing is like if you are directly linked to your debit card, or like you can directly pay through your account, that might be a better options for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay for the property taxes today.
Yeah. So Nagraj, let's talk about how you're seeing the market right now. It's a little lull in the market with
I
the
think,
holidays.
let's go back like how does the market defines, right? The market defines based on the interest rates, right? Like right now, what we have seen last week is like mixed response. The rates were started going down in the middle
Mm.
of, maybe in the beginning of the week, it was around 6.5. Some buyers were able to even shop for 6.2 because Bank of America are running a special promo discounts, because especially at the year end, I see the Bank of America does the lot of reduction in the interest rates. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So right now, Bank of America used to do a 6.2. Some lenders were, some buyers were able to get even a 6.2. Okay. And some were like even locked for a 6.5. But from Friday, the rates went up again. It's a 6.75 now. This is
Uh-huh.
rates are like, I'm talking about the ARM rates. It might be a
Yeah.
2-year fix or a 10-year, but a 30-year loan program. Okay. In that one, 5-year, 7 or 10 harm products are where like 6.2 to a 6.75. Okay. Again, it depends on the scenarios, like it is a 20% down or like it is a 10% down, right? Depending on the scenario, credit score, and a lot of factors goes in. Okay. But sometimes if you're logged in for a 6.75 and if the rate has dropped 6.2 and if you're not closed still, you can go back to the lender, because lender will allow you to drop, basically to lock in for a lower rate. If it's anything lower than
Mm-hmm.
5, they
Yeah.
might allow you to lock for one more time, relock the rates. Okay. Talk to your lender. Okay.
Yeah.
Until if you went into a contract, keep checking with your lenders what is every week the rates. So that way, if anything drops, if you're in the process of, we have one caller, let's take it.
Yes. Hello and welcome to Real Estate Roundup. You have a question for Nagraj?
Yes, I'm Purushottam from San Jose,
Yes.
and I have a question on a subject called right of way. Just near my residence from LM Rock to Eastridge Mall, the light rail is going to come in the next 2 years or 3 years, and there will be huge relocation of houses and industries and small businesses around LM Rock to Eastridge Mall. So there is a very good, great opportunity for real estate people who have license. I do not have a license. So
Yes.
how can I work with Mr. Nagraj in this?
Okay. Before we answer, let me give out the number for folks to join us: 408-912-5038. Keep your questions coming in all about real estate in the time that we have with Nagraj. 408-912-5038. Yes, Nagraj.
Purushottam, thanks for calling in. It's a good question out there, because what do you mean by like you want to work with the realtors? Like basically you want to recognize the properties to sell, or like what do you, yeah, we lost the caller. Purushottam, if you have any follow-up question, do give us a call back. Like, see, I think as Purushottam was saying in, right, there's a lot of developments are there happening in the Bay Area right now. But if you're not in a licensed realtor, you can't basically, unless you want to sell it, okay, or
Mm-hmm.
buy the property for yourself, then you can benefit it, right? That is where is like you need to be identifying what fits for your requirements in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think
Okay.
it was a good reminder for me, like as Purushottam was said, like I was saying, like the 6.2 billion got approved from the Biden government yesterday. I think last week it got approved for the trains from Las Vegas to Los Angeles and from Los Angeles to a Bay Area. So
Uh-huh.
might help out for the people coming from the Tracy Hills to Bay Area, right? Like, or a South Bay if they want, but
Yeah.
it's going to take under 6 to 7 years, right?
Oh.
We are thinking about the train completion from long time, but
Yeah.
yesterday it got for a lot of reasons, like especially the funds going up. It's always like it,
Right.
always the price keeps going up, but we are expecting to be completing by 2030 to a 2032, especially if this trains complete, the tracks complete, right? It might help out for the people coming in from
Yeah.
Stockton and
Right.
even for the Lathrop areas, right? Already we have the Ace train coming out, and these new trains might help them for the commute purpose also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is good news right there. So, that should help. And you were talking about the general scenario in the market right now. So, while we can't, leave this without talking about the layoffs that happened, massive layoffs going on, because of Broadcom buying over VMware. So that that is, of course, always like a Damocles sword hanging on people's neck. So, what do you do if you're laid off in this situation and
I think
you
I'm
have?
happy to hear that. I think yesterday was like what 1,700 people in Palo Alto office itself was got laid off from the last week. From I think they'll be from the January. That's what they've given in notice. But when I was talking to a VMware engineer, right, like most of them was impacted was on the sales side or the HR side, not on the engineer front.
Okay.
But it's always over. It might be it's a
Yeah.
tougher for them, especially when you're into bought in a house recently, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about the options what they have. Like it's in a sorry state to be in, but what are the options, right? Always it's a risk, no matter what it might be, right?
Correct.
It's a risk you will be taking a buying a house.
Mm-hmm.
We are not painting it very well and saying that it's buying a house where everything will be rosy conditions, right? No,
Yeah.
it's a risk, right?
Yeah.
Investments are risk, okay? But what are the backups you have once you lose a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
First is look out for the reserves. How much reserves you have, right? The reserves, it might be like that's why we, as a lender, keeps asking you, do you have
Yeah.
6 months reserve or a 1 year reserve? If you lose a job, how many months you as a backup as a monthly payments you can have, right? So look for that option, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Look out for your,
Reserves.
and does it help you to pay for next until you find you a backup job? You
Mm-hmm.
always, as in you're always in a well qualified person, might be an engineer or a salesperson, you will start looking for the jobs immediately until
Yeah.
you find a job. Look for the backups things who are from, so that the reserves can start paying you for your monthly payments, right? The second thing is like a lot of people ask for like, can I go talk to the lender to stop asking, like basically I can stop my payments for now, I think. But that option doesn't work out. Lender might not agree for you to stop paying the mortgages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Might not agree for that.
Yeah.
Nobody will ask you to stop making the payments, right? The third thing is, if you think like it's very tough going out be there for you, right, then what you can do is like basically, is there an option for you to just sell? Okay, it again comes down when you have bought a property, right? For example, maybe you have enough reserves or like in the equity in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe selling is better for you right now, for right
Yeah.
now, right? But if you had bought a house like 2 months or a 3 months back, then you're in a tough scenario, because then you need to talk to the realtor, understand if you sell the house, what is the better returns for the property, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be ending up on the positive side
Side.
or
Mm-hmm.
on the negative side, correct? If it is on the negative side, then it might be tough for you.
Yeah.
That's why whenever you buy a house for the first time home buyers, right, I keep telling them, dude, don't put on the remodeling, don't invest all your reserves on the down payment,
Ah,
not
okay.
for the
On
remodel.
the remodeling. Mm-hmm.
Don't do that, because you need to have the reserves amount for anything like kind of an emergency. Nobody expected. I was talking to the VMware engineer yesterday, right? He was saying like one of the VMware person bought a house in Mountain House right now.
Yeah.
But as soon as we got in, Broadcom took over. Broadcom made us an every day needs to comes to office now.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
Broadcom is asking all the employees to return. Already
To
mentioned it, but for the
in person.
but
Mm-hmm.
where also they have told to come back to the office now, right?
Yeah.
Things change now for the people who have bought in a mountain house and who are like basically bought it in Tracy Hills right now for the all the VMware engineers,
Right.
right? So for them, I think as I was telling you, the ACE train is a better connectivity if you need to return to the office right now.
Mm.
Right. For the, I think I've talked about it also. A lot of people who comes 2 days, they stay in here, and every third day or a fourth day they return back. They stay in motels around here. That is also one of the options they're considering it right now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And going back to your original thing, that's why, like as I was talking to him, I was telling, I keep reminding them, okay, when you're buying a house, you need to consider the scenario.
Yes. What if? Mm-hmm.
What are the job? It's all depends on what is a job roles are you working in, right? You're
Yeah.
working close to an hardware side. You're working closely on the where your presence is needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you need, it's always prefer to buy something very closer.
Right. Right.
That's what you need to be making sure. That's the questions you need to be asking to a expert when you talk, right? Like
Mhm.
basically that's where expertise comes in. The realtor, talk to him, these are the scenarios is mine, right?
Yeah.
Talk to him and understand based on your thing where is a better place to buy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
mountain house might be good houses for you, but your job says that you need to stay back in the local place like in the South Bay, then maybe it is a better place to buy for. But yours is a work from home, completely work from home.
Yeah.
Husband, completely work from Mountain House is the best place for you to buy. Tracy is the best place to buy for you. It's
Mm-hmm.
it depends on each scenario. And
Yeah.
coming back to if you have lost the job, right? I told you one is option is basically look for the reserves option. The second thing is like look to sell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always
Mm-hmm.
a better thing.
Yeah.
And third thing is like look for if somebody can come and stay with you as a tenant so that they can help you to pay for your EMI.
Right. Okay.
Out to your family members if somebody can help you out also.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
don't get panic. Always think, be positive. There's
Yeah.
alternatives for you, and nothing the end of the world for the when you lose the job. It comes down to your positiveness always,
Positive thinking. Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If you always think about it, something happens, it will happen, right?
Right.
But you keep setting the positive goal. It's
Mm-hmm.
always on the positive side aspects for you.
Right. Lots to think about. And thank you for that, encouraging advice as well, folks. So if you've been listening in, you know where to log on to nagrajhomes.com. Reach out to Nagraj with your own question, suggestion, have him handhold you through it all. And the number to reach him, 408-805-4653, 408-805-4653. We are, of course, with you every Sunday, 12:30 to 1 on Bolly 92.3 FM. Make that date with us. And thank you so much, Nagraj. Very insightful session yet again.
Thank you so much, Vijay Lakshmi, and all the Bay Area listeners. Any questions on the real estate, you know where to contact now.
Right. And
Mhm.
like the YouTube play page as well.
Yeah, bro. Thank you.
Thank you. On that note, this is Vijay Lakshmi. Thank you for joining us. Until next Sunday, namaskar.
Yeah.
You're listening to Real Estate Roundup.